everybody, it's Dr. Erin here, one of the good doctors of Abbey Research, and I'm here for the Good Doctors Diagnose for this Wednesday, December 11th. And because it's a Wednesday, we're doing a pop culture video, and I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite TV shows airing on NBC here in the United States. It is New Amsterdam. It airs after This Is Us, which I've already also done a Good Doctors Diagnose about. So some of these NBC shows I'm learning some lessons from, but it's one of the few shows that I watch actually aired on television as opposed to through a streaming service. And for those of you that don't know the show, it's about a fictitious hospital in New York called New Amsterdam. And it is about the arrival of a new medical director, Dr. Max Goodwin, to New Amsterdam Hospital, and he kind of overhauls how this public hospital was working before, and he has all these radical ideas about healthcare. So it's a bit controversial for some here in the United States, but I love its aspirational goals towards an empathetic and holistic and an encompassing and a free healthcare. But what I want to talk about is this idea of building a bigger table and how it shows up in New Amsterdam. And Dr. Kristen and I talk about this a lot through our work at Abbey Research, that if you don't have enough seats at the table, like build a bigger table. So it's about being inclusive. It's about this idea of bringing in new voices, making sure that everybody has a chance to tell their story so that you can learn and grow through the most information possible, the most comprehensive and nuanced understanding of a situation as is possible. And the way this happened in New Amsterdam that I loved was when Dr. Goodwin, Max, showed up early on in this season, I think it could have been last season, and decided that things weren't operating the way that they needed to on multiple levels. And so he went to, over the course of several weeks, I think, went to every single department. And from the heart surgery department, cardiac department is what it's called. My mother's a nurse. From, cardiac and neonatal care down to the food service workers and the janitors and the people that do the cleaning services around the hospital, and ask them what they needed to do their jobs. And that is it doesn't seem like a radical thing to do, but I think sometimes it is, especially because what Max understood was, if everybody in every department doesn't have what they need to do their job, then this whole ship isn't going to work. The whole operation isn't going to work, because if you have missing pieces anywhere, the whole puzzle, I'm just mixing lots of metaphors now, isn't going to come together. But I think you understand the point that I'm making. And it was not something that previous medical directors had considered, that you need to make sure that the janitorial staff has everything that they need to do their job. But that's what team building is, and that's what real team building and real teamwork looks like, is understanding everybody makes a contribution to how your office runs or how your company runs or your business runs. From the very consequential in a medical setting, jobs of cardiac surgeons and oncologists and all of those really, really important positions in that sense, but also the really necessary work of the custodial staff, because if things aren't clean and if the plumbing isn't working and if the fire alarms don't function, then the hospital can't function either. So the lesson I take from this is just, it's always a great idea to check in, particularly now as we're moving towards the end of the year. That's a time when a lot of people do these kinds of check-in, and make sure that everything's working. Make sure that everybody in your office has what they need to do their job, and that each department or group or team is functioning at its most productive and conducive level. So I encourage you to, if you haven't started that evaluation process going into the end of 2019, I encourage you to do it now. But that is all for this Good Doctors Diagnose and everything we have for this week. We will see you again on Monday. Take care, everybody.